Tell them I'm ready for war.
Tonight on Sunday Night Primetime, San Francisco looks for their first sweep of Seattle since 2011. Can the Seahawks avoid the broom? We'll find out next on EA Sports.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Ready to get it started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go from Seattle. Here's James. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Niners offense making their way out, and they are led by the 3rd overall pick back in this year's draft out of North Dakota State, Trey Lance.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores, and, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
Now Mostert trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football IQ. And don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him.
That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And for the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again the Seattle Seahawks offense.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. They've got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct it all. Down pat, and I just remember as a player, I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 to the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come June. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance dancing to his left. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Maurice Hurst coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And some room to work. And he will finally be taken out of bounds as it's an enormous play there on the final snap of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. off of play action. Here's Lance. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal forward pass.
Could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way, like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
So the illegal forward pass also cost him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Now Lance. Being chased out left. He's got Ayuk on the sideline. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Faking the give to Mostert. Now Lance. He'll buy some time right. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Showed some of his improv skills there, getting flushed out of the pocket but still able to make the throw for the score.
So that means he's not a method actor?
No.
Because with the improv means break character when you need to. And in the NFL, when you have those guys chasing you, sometimes you have to break character in a big way. But I love the fact that he stayed downfield, kept his eyes up, and made the play. How many rookies do that well?
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From the 6. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Here's Carson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4. And it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. Running right through him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 more there and another 1st down. Now it's Carson. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. That's complete. It's Carson out of the backfield. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Tighten up, tighten up.
54, Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Man, that's trash.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Javon Kinlaw busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage. And Myers able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is QT, complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. 54. Let's get off the field, man. Let's get off the field.
Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Right there. 54.
Wilson will throw again. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And down inside the 15 he goes. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check.
Now it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Now he's flushed out left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Tua Tagovailoa leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one in the AFC East. The Patriots and Bills from Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Oh, good return up past the 30. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Carson. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing, because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. This defense trying to do its part. Active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Myers' kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. But looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. And all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One one team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. They'll begin with a run by Gallman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. These two teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, will give them the season sweep. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Gallman will run it. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now on 2nd and 13. Lance flushed out right. Room to run inside the 40. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now a toss. This is Gallman. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A delayed give to Gallman. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Play action, now it's Lance. Steps away. And it's caught. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Now Gallman. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. Goldman will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So Wilson and the Seahawks trailing 14-13, 2:18 on the clock. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on 1st down. On 1st down, Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Dissly, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Throwing now is Wilson. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
And Myers able to knock it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. Steps away to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly.
And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
And they'll go for it. Lance.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
On 1st down, Carson down to the 25. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Wilson to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So in a game that's been full of twists and turns, here's another with time winding down.
And now, as you say, time's obviously a huge factor. But all you're looking for now is 3. So one big play, maybe a penalty, and you might get that shot after all.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. He's going to let it fly.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
One final try now for Lance.
He's going to let it fly. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Niners, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.